Today I'm going to share with you my natural hair journey, how I went from being a natural, then having relaxed hair, and back to natural again. Hello and welcome to I Am My Hair. We're all about natural hair conversations with women and men from across the world as we embrace this natural hair journey. In all the conversations I've hosted to this point, I realized the other day that I didn't get to tell you about mine. And so today I'm going to share my journey with you, how I went from being a natural, having relaxed hair, and back to natural again. I've decided to divide my journey into 5 parts. The start, switch, the transition, the journey, and the lessons. So I've always been a natural. My mom's been a very big advocate of it. As kids, we were not allowed to use relaxers. It was a gift that we were given when we were in high school.
Mommy used to make it a gift, almost like you passed grade 7, standard 5, and now your gift is you can relax or chemically straighten your hair for high school. And I remember.
And one of the things that I always saw about my hair was that it was very thick and I was very scared of a comb. And that combo just doesn't communicate. And my mom was like, you go, I'm combing that hair. So I was always in tears having my hair plaited. But I noticed that my hair grew very fast, even though it was really, really thick. And then came the switch. When we were going to high school from primary school, my mom said that was the only time you could relax your hair. Bearing in mind at that time there were already kid-friendly chemical straighteners and relaxers that one could use. My mom was not about that life. She was not buying into the idea of any kid having their hair relaxed before a certain age. When I moved to high school, I can't remember the year, I had my hair relaxed for the first time. I must say that was the first time that I found that my hair was a bit softer, a little bit more manageable, but there were certain things that kind of concerned me about that switch. The one thing was that whenever I would put chemical relaxer on my hair, my scalp would burn. I was terrified. In fact, you'd remember the conversation that I had with my sister where she was saying that I used to cry a lot because it used to burn my scalp. But the transition came for me in March 2016. Any having had my hair relaxed from 1997 to that point. The hairdresser, bless her, I wish her well, I don't mean any ill on her. She burnt my scalp so badly, my goodness. And I felt like my hair was coming out of my head. It was so bad, I promised myself, that is it. I'm not going to put myself through it. If this is what it means to suffer for beauty, I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it for me. And I've not looked back. So I transitioned for 6 months before I felt like I could go out and face the world with this hair. And the day I went to the salon and I cut that hair off, there was a bit of tears, but there was a bit of, oh my goodness, does your hair look like this? And it was a turning point in my whole hair journey because I realized that, girl, why were you suffering putting these relaxers all these years? Like, you've got such beautiful hair. But then I was asking myself, what do I do with it? And I gravitated to what was there, there were not a lot of choices out there. There were natural hair products. I don't recall there being any local brands as in South African hair care, natural hair care brands. So I gravitated to what was there and it worked. And I haven't looked back since then. It's been a journey of lows, highs, and everything in between. And I almost felt like the turning point within that journey came when I attended a local event here in South Africa called Clicks Curls event. It was in 2019. Because I had been doing what I'd been searching. And they would say, use this, and I would just use it. I knew none the better. But when I attended that Clicks Curl event in 2019 in Johannesburg, it almost felt like a turning point for me because it was then that I realized, oh gosh, you've been doing this wrong all along, girlfriend. You've been using the incorrect products, the incorrect methods because you don't know your hair type. And that's where I learned about hair porosity and finding out about your hair type. And it was at that moment that I found out that I was low porosity after doing the porosity test. And I almost felt like a new person because I realized I'd been doing it wrong all along. Look, I was a Jamaican black castor oil advocate. I said it in my previous video about how I used to use it. I used to use protein treatments. I never used heat. I always used cold rinses. I would wash my hair with warm water, rinse it, final rinse with cold water. So everything that I was doing was not for my type of hair. I barely trimmed it, the list goes on. But when I went to that event and I found out about my hair type, it almost changed the game for me. And since then, I've just been relying a lot on trial and error. And that comes down to the lessons that I've learned on my journey. Is a lot of it is trial and error. A lot of it is experience. I could do as many searches as I want to on any platform. I could watch all the videos out there, and there's a lot of them now, by the way. There wasn't a lot back then, but there's a lot now. It can get quite confusing. It can get quite overwhelming. So you have to almost take it with a pinch of salt, see what will work for you, what won't, and try it out. They say experience is the best teacher. And that's why I again said in my video that I'm reluctant to ask people, hey, what products are you using? What methods are you using? Because I know that our hair types are probably not the same. And so I've learned a lot on this journey. I always ask the guests on our show the one thing that they love most about their hair. One thing I love the most about my hair is its resilience. I've put my hair through a lot of damage, whether it's chemical or mechanical damage, and it comes back fighting. Dryness, blow dryers, pulling, tight hairstyles, it's somewhat survived it. Growing up as a natural, being gifted the opportunity to chemically straighten my hair as I moved over to high school, embracing that journey as someone with relaxed hair, having my scalp so burnt back in 2016 that I decided I want to go back to my roots, and then embracing that journey as a naturalista with all its lessons and the resilience that I love the most about my hair has been my journey in a nutshell. What has been yours? What have been some of the highs, lows, and in-betweens? When did you decide to go natural? What has been your biggest lesson? What do you love most about your hair? Let me know in the comment section. And whilst you're here, please subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and share these videos so that we can grow this community together. I've had so much fun telling you a little bit, short snippet about my natural hair journey. I'll see you next week.